Hello everybody, Lewis with Tactical Response, joined today by Thad.
Hello everybody.
Alright, so Joey and I are going to be competing in the tactical games here in about a week at this point. So we've got some stuff we still need to practice. We're both going to be shooting, this is actually your rifle you're lending me, 25th anniversary edition, Tactical Response edition, Midwest Industries.
Cerakoted Midwest Industries.
Yeah,
yep.
It's a beautiful gun. We've got some Vortex Razor Gen 3s that were sent to us by Vortex. One of our alumni who works out there hooked us up. It seems like LPVO is going to be the way to go for the tactical games, with it being pretty much an accuracy competition from our understanding. Accuracy at an elevated heart rate level, right? So any advantage we could get with glass, we're going to go ahead and take. And I've been playing with mine kind of off the gun, looking through it, like some pretty high quality glass here.
Yeah, the razors seem to be very nice. I've used some in other stuff, long range stuff. They've got good glass. They're nice.
And so obviously you've got more experience than I do in terms of magnified optics and stuff. Something that I thought, just kind of playing with scope in hand, was it seemed like I had a pretty forgiving
eye relief,
eye box.
I believe with this type of scope you will.
Yeah.
On some of your more longer range, per se, it's more of a point.
Okay.
But I think you get more of that with this.
All right. So we've got some scope rings from our buddies over at Midwest. They make bomb-proof gear, so we know if we're using Midwest guns, Midwest rings, we're gonna have a solid gun to mount our scope to. And you're gonna help us walk through how to mount this and get it perfectly fit, basically, for the shooter.
Right.
Correct?
Yep. And really, it's a little bit different for everybody.
Okay.
I'm sure if you've ever picked up a rifle and looked through somebody else's, you're like, man, that scope's off just a little bit. Some people try to really get them level with the gun if you've got the gun set level, but when you shoulder it, it's different. If you had it on a sled or something that laid flat, like bench rest shooting, that would be a little bit different.
Right.
But everybody, just like the handgun, one hand manipulate, you got a little cant to it or something, everybody's is a little bit different, and it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I know I put a tac tip from James out a little while ago about mounting scopes, and one of the things that he stressed in that short video was testing it at different shooting positions. So if you get something set up where it's perfect on a bench, when you lay out prone, you may now be closer to that optic, right? Right. So you have to find kind of like a Goldilocks zone where it's going to work for you at all of them. Is that how we do it?
Yeah, and if these have, I'm not as familiar with these, but if they've got more eye relief, it helps in that.
Okay.
And with like an AR where you can adjust the stock, depending on what I'm doing, I'll shorten it up and I'll change it for when I lay down and change that some. With this type of scope, it's not as critical, I would say.
Okay, so you've got a little bit more.
You've got more distance on your eye relief.
Very cool. All right, so we're going to get started installing this. We're going to start, obviously, putting the scope into here. Is that right?
Yeah, on these, so you can get it in there, and with these being quick detach, they're going to go on. And on this, I would probably pretty much just put the scope in it and snug it up, and then lock it on the gun, and then do some adjustment for getting it level for each person.
Okay, so guys, we're going to get right into it, start putting this thing together. We'll take you along on the journey that it's going to be, and show any kind of pointers that we can as we're doing this. Hope you enjoy. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm getting pretty much the whole thing. I got both eyes open.
It doesn't look like the end of an old movie, right? You've got
No
black. It's
I've
all
got-
clear.
It's like I was looking through a red dot right now.
Yep, that's where you want it. And if you move your head forward, eventually you'll get to a point where it
Then
starts closing up.
Now I'm getting some shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Out here, I got some serious shadow, but just kind of right there, she's clear.
And it's like the right height.
She feels great. Let me go a little bit longer of a distance, but
I can't believe you just pointed that gun at all them through that camera.
screw those guys. Yeah, like right there, I got absolutely nothing in terms of shadow. That's shootable. My throw lever. We need a bigger room.
Yeah. So that's why the final adjustment on cant and stuff like that we'll look at.
Yeah, it does look sexy on here.
They do look good.
Right.
The Razor series. It's been a while. I used to have a couple of theirs.
Well, I originally reached out to Adam because I know, like, when this scope had basically just come out, he had come down and brought it through a contractor class.
Did a little test on it.
Yeah, he wanted to get it dirty and treat it how, tools are to be treated. Yep. And it held up awesome. He let us shoot it a bit. So that's when I reached out to him. I was like, what was the scope you guys had?
Mm-hmm.
Is that still a good one? He was like, yes.
Yeah. The reticle in these on the Razor brand, their line, they've got real fine. Like, if you're trying to be precise, you can with that instead of a big fat reticle that covers your target.
Yeah. Now all you need to do is go ahead and get rid of your 7 MOA flinch, guys. To do that, you're going to want some training. Come see us for a fighting rifle. We have a fast and accurate rifle class as well. Advanced fighting rifle. We have sniper basics, intermediate distance rifle. So if you have a great scope, good rifle, and still have that 10 MOA trigger jerk, we can fix you.
They can fix you up.
So what do we do next, Thad? How do we prove this?
I think we go to the range and
we gotta go all the way to the range. There's not like a dumpster nearby or something.
Well, I mean, you were wanting to shoot at range.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna have to go out to the range, guys. So follow us along out there. We're gonna get some rounds through this. Put a 0 on it. We are going to have the chance to confirm our zeros the day before the tactical games as well, which is kind of cool because we're going from here, Tennessee, humidity, all that kind of stuff, out to South Carolina.
Elevations, different.
So it'll be nice to get dialed a little bit, but I guess for today, if we can head out to the range, get them zeroed, and then maybe start working on a little bit of dope, I think that'll go a long way in Joey and I being able to dominate the tactical games.
All right, guys, here we are at the range. I let Lewis and Thad handle the boring part of putting this on. I made Lewis go back to work, and I'm gonna handle the fun stuff of getting this zeroed in. And once I have it dialed in, I'm gonna hit some of those, probably some of that longer range steel that we've got hanging out up there. And then I'll just tell Lewis how fun it was and how cool the optic was and everything.
Vicariously through.
Yeah. I'm sure he won't mind.
Absolutely.
All right, well, here we go. All right,
you see him?
So 16 to the left and 2 up. after what you said, about 3.5. So like I said, that's about 16 clicks. So 1, 2, 3.
It'd be 14 clicks.
Okay.
Provided you went the right way.
Oh, I definitely did.
You might as well just leave that bad boy off.
Well, what if I lose it?
We'll put it right here.
All right.
In my pocket.
How many clicks up?
2.
2 clicks up. So this one is that way, so. All right, so I'll go down 1 click and see what it
that
does.
should be hammered.
Yep.
So, just for curiosity, we shot at the steel just to see if it was going to get on paper at 100, and it did not. An easy, quick bore sight with your eye, like on an AR, you can split the two, the upper and the lower, pull the bolt, charging handle out, and if you can set your upper so that you can physically look through the bore of the barrel and get it on a target, and then adjust your scope to it without moving it around too much, it will save you rounds sometimes when you're searching, trying to see where it's not landing on the paper. Did I?
No.
Ding.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so maybe that didn't work either.
Nothing.
Okay, it did that time, didn't it?
It hit something.
Here, we'll do it again.
There you go.
So I moved to the right just a little too much. Oh, that last one's gonna be different.
Yep, you're right.
Last round out of the gun.
Yep.
That's still basically the same.
Yep.
These two were new, and that one's new.
Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and get our pistols zeroed. Lewis is here with me now. He did not trust Thad's handiwork, so he came out here, confirmed the zero on the rifle, had to make adjustments. Turns out you were right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily want to let your competition rest on a zero put on the rifle by a guy they call the Blue Falcon.
That's right. Yeah, it was definitely high.
It was a bit high.
You know, he joked about, like, I'm going to get it zeroed and then I'm just going to crank one of these knobs. So I didn't think he'd actually do it, though.
No, I don't know, because you guys weren't shooting on bipod. I shot it on a bipod, so that shouldn't affect it. I even shot some off of the bag. But yeah, it needed a good 4 MOA worth of adjustment.
But yeah, so I'm going to get this is what I'm using for the tactical games, swapping to the Terran Tactical Combat Master. So, you know, all the edge I can get, right?
Hey, worked for John Wick.
That's right. All right, here we go, guys. Gotta get lower. I'm about to do a Lewis. Yeah, there we go. Sweet trigger, bro. Well, I'd say that's a group.
Now, did you feel off on because of the rest? Was the rest putting any kind of torque on you or anything?
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. I was pushing into it maybe a little too hard, so that was the first one. Again, no matter how many times I shoot these things, like I get surprised by the trigger. So so yeah, like had a lot of that, so I pushed in harder. But once I stopped driving it into the bag so much, that's when they came.
Yeah,
out.
like the last 3 were all right there.
Yeah. So once I got comfortable, so I mean.
And are you using the circle only?
Mm-hmm. So I just
zeroing.
Yeah, I just had that right in the center of the circle.
Okay.
And
so I got 3. So I think that windage adjustment was just right.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't look like we even changed the elevation.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe so we're zeroing at 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between a 10-yard zero at 25 is about 0.7.
Mm-hmm.
So at 25, it will be
Up a little
0.7
bit.
higher.
Mm-hmm.
I would leave it right there. We're about a half-inch low at 10.
Mm-hmm.
So math-wise, that might work out to like a 12-yard zero. Not sure, but it should be pretty much point of aim, point of impact at 25,
Mm-hmm.
as well as we can shoot.
Yeah.
Right? Like if we're shooting standing,
Exactly.
that one click isn't going to matter as much as,
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, that's mine. You're up.
That looks good. So something I like to do for pistol zeroing is just kind of an X or a cross of duct tape. So I've got about a 2x2 square that resides in the middle of it. So that's where I'm trying to put them. I was holding them right about here. So I think I'm going to come down a click and left a click.
Oh, you're good.
What did I say? Down and left?
Down and left. Down and left.
A chunk missing out of it too. Let's see what that does for us. Try and get a little bit of a tighter grip on it. Again, grip not necessarily necessary for marksmanship and zeroing, but I'm going to try and make it so I can get those shots off a little bit better pace this time. So I didn't feel great about one of those trigger presses, so I shot a 4-round group. Yeah, and you can see he's way over there. So it looks like that one was there prior, so I'm now inside that 2x2 with everything, discounting my flyer here, or that bad shot that I called. So I think I'll still move it a little bit more left.